back to another English online session. In the previous class, we have just learned the life of Tut, especially about his tomb, the funerary treasures, and the mysteries around his death. In this particular video, you are going to learn what are things Howard Carter done. Already Sahi Hawa said because of his doings, many damage happened to the mummy. Let's see how it happened. In his defense, Carter really had little choice. If he hadn't cut the mummy free, thieves most certainly would have circumvented the guards and ripped it apart to remove the gold. So he had very little choice by the time when he just took out the mummy outside, because if he is not completing it, the work, or keeping it outside, the thieves, they may just find a way to cheat the guards and took remove the mummy or whatever they wanted to take. They may take and loot all the funerary treasure and run away from the place. To avoid that, without any choice, he had done it. In Tut's time, the royals were fabulously wealthy, and they thought or hoped they could take their riches with them. For his journey to the great beyond, King Tut was lavished with glittering golds, precious collars, inlaid necklaces and bracelets, ring, amulets, a ceremonial apron, sandals, shades for his fingers, and toys, and the now iconic inner coffin and mask, all of pure gold. So a lot of treasure made of the ornaments, jewels made of gold, just kept with this king. A lavish afterlife. They are believing it. They have afterlife, so kept lavishly all these things. To separate Tut from his adornments, Carter's men removed the mummy's head and severed nearly every major joint. To remove this Tut from the base, they have just on this process they have done severe damages in the body of Tut. Once they had finished, they reassembled the remains on a layer of sand in a wooden box with a padding that concealed the damage, the bed where Tut now rests. So when everything completed, they have done some works to just conceal, hide the damages they have done on the body of Tut and kept it back. Archaeology has changed substantially in the intervening decades, focusing less on treasure and more on the fascinating details of life and intriguing mysteries of death. So, in the upcoming years, the development of archaeology, they have more focused on the death and the mystery than the treasures kept in the tomb. It is also uses more sophisticated tools, including medical technology. In 1968, more than 40 years after Carter's discovery, an anatomy professor x-rayed the mummy and revealed a startling fact: beneath the resin that cakes his chest, his breastbone and front ribs are missing. So, after 40 years of the discovery, an X-ray was taken about this Tut's body, and he just gave a startling, a puzzling, confusing result that the rib bone and breastbone are missing. Like such a result he had given. Today, diagnostic image can be done with computer topography or CT scan, by which hundreds of X-rays in cross sections are put together like slices of bread to create a three-dimensional virtual body. So now, 80 years after now, when the second time they have done the CT scan, that time you can have hundreds of images, 3D and three-dimensional pictures you can take. So very minute checking can be possible. What more would a CT scan reveal of Tut than the X-ray? And could it answer two of the biggest questions still lingering about him? How did he die, and how old was he at the time of his death? King Tut's demise was a big event even by royal standards. So this X-ray after this CT scan also didn't give much details about the existing long last mystery about his death and his age. On the other hand, his death was just considered a biggest event. I mean, events conducted after the death, the rituals they have done in it a very grand manner. Amenhotep III, Tut's father or grandfather, was a powerful pharaoh who ruled for almost 4 decades at the height of the 18th dynasty's golden age. So now a little bit history of his dynasty. Amenhotep, he was believed as the father or the grandfather of Tut, and he just ruled such a beautiful way that known as the golden age of their dynasty. His son Amenhotep IV, it is believed his son Amenhotep IV succeeded him and initiated one of the strangest periods in the history of ancient Egypt. So it is believed that his son Amenhotep IV may be Tut's father. All these things are not clear. Okay, so he just led a very strange period in the history, life in a strange period. The new pharaoh promoted the worship of Aten, the sun disk, changed his name to Akhenaten, or servant of the Aten. So this particular king this changed the worship. They have just changed. He liked the sun god very much, so he asked everyone to worship the sun god. Even he changed his name like Akhenaten and moved the religious capital from the old city of Thebes to the new city of Akhenaten, known now as Amarna. He has changed the religious capital also. He further shocked the country by attacking Amun, a major god, smashing his images and closing his temples. So previously they worshipped the god named Amun. This particular king attacked his temple and smashed images and all the idols there. It must have been a horrific time, said Ray Johnson, director of the University of Chicago's Research Center in Luxor. The site of ancient Thebes, the family that had ruled for centuries, was coming to an end, and then Akhenaten went a little wacky. So previously they have worshipped, like I said, Amun. That became an old story. Like this man just done a lot of wacky things. Wacky means crazy or amusing in slightly odd way, strange way. Like he had changed something we cannot accept. Uh, when we study about the dynasty, he just done things entirely different from the other kings. After Akhenaten's death, a mysterious ruler named Smenkhkare appeared briefly and exit with hardly a trace. So after that, another ruler came, and there is no much trace of his period or his. The evidences are very less about his time. And then a very young Tutankhamun took the throne, King Tut as he widely known today. The boy king soon changed his name as Tutankhamun, living image of Amun, and oversaw a restoration of the old ways. So his initial name was Tutankhamun, son of Akhenaten, and then this boy took power and he just changed the previously brought changes. He again changed it and brought the old ways, the worship and the god, and even he changed his name like Tutankhamun, living image of Amun. He reigned for about 9 years, then died unexpectedly. Regardless of his fame and the speculations about his fate, Tut is one mummy among many in Egypt. So, away from the speculations about his death and all those things, he is one of the mummies found in Egypt. How many? No one knows. The Egyptian Mummy Project, which began an inventory in late 2003, has recorded almost 600 so far and is still counting. So, still the people are searching, and as per the project 2003 inventory project, based on that, by the time it was written, nearly 600 mummies were found in the Egypt, and the popular one is the tomb of King Tut. The next phase, scanning the mummies with a portable CT machine donated by the National Geographic Society and Siemens, its manufacturer. King Tut is one of the first mummies to be scanned in death as in life, moving regardlessly ahead of his countrymen. So King Tut's body is the first one scanned in this very advanced scan. Living, his body was scanned to solve this mystery, long lasting mystery. A CT scan machine scanned the mummy head to toe, creating 1700 digital X ray images in cross section. Tut's head scanned in 0.62 millimeter slices to register its intricate structures, takes on eerie detail in the resulting image. So, very minutely, they have scanned the head of Tut to collect the details. They have find some eerie detail. Eerie means strange images they got. With Tut's entire body similarly recorded, a team of specialists in radiology, forensics, and anatomy began to probe the secrets. They have brought all the specialists to just understand the secret behind his death and all those things that they are believing the goddesses this just protected so long. The night of the scan, workman carried Tut from the tomb in his box like pall bearers. They climbed a ramp and a flight of stairs into the swirling sand outside, then rose on a hydraulic lift into the trailer that held the scanner. So on that particular day, when it was scanned, the body was taken like pallbearers, those who carry the dead bodies. Such a way they have carried it outside. Then from there, it is 26 feet down. They have just lifted using hydraulic lift. 20 minutes later, two men emerged, sprinted for an office nearby, and returned with a pair of white plastic fans. The $1 million scanner had quit because of sand in a cooler fan. Curse of the Pharaoh, joked a guard nervously. So this wind is blowing and the sand is just got entered into the fan of this scanner. It will easily get damaged. So two guards just ran quickly and took some plastic sheets and to cover it they went. By the time one of the guards was jokingly saying that it might be because of the curse of the Pharaoh. Eventually, the substitute fans worked well enough to finish the procedure. After checking that no data had been lost, the technicians turned Tut over to the workman who carried him back to his tomb. Less than 3 hours after he was removed from his coffin, the Pharaoh again rested in peace where the funerary priest had laid him so long ago. So it took 3 hours of that procedure. The extra fans they have just attached there that helped the scanner to work properly, and each and every detail they have collected. And again, they have kept back the mummy where it was kept by the priest by the time of his funeral. They kept it back the same place. Back in the trailer, a technician pulled up astonishing images of Tut on a computer screen. A grey head took shape from a scattering of pixels, and the technician spun and tilted it in every direction. Neck vertebrae appeared as clearly as in a anatomy class. Other images revealed a hand, several views of rib cage, and transection of the skull. But for now, the pressure was off. Sitting back in his chair, Sahi Hawass smiled. So on the way back, those who are sitting in the trailer at the back part of the vehicle, they were checking whatever they have scanned inch by inch. So now his pressure is not finding the details about his death or something. They have, without any damage, without much problem, they have kept the mummy back to the tomb. That was the happiness to Sahi Hawass. Visibly relieved that nothing had gone seriously wrong, I didn't sleep last night, not for a second, he said. I was so worried, but now I think I will go and sleep. So the procedure started the previous day. From there onwards, he is the responsible person. Sahi Hawass didn't even sleep. So now he was saying everything done properly, and there was no problem occurred in between. So he was okay, and he was just saying that he can peacefully go to sleep now. By the time we left the trailer descending metal stairs to the sandy ground, the wind had stopped. The winter air lay cold and still like death itself in this valley of the departed. So when they took out the stairs they used to get down to the tomb, when they take out, he was saying the wind had stopped and the winter freezing cold, that kind of atmosphere exited there. Just above the entrance to Tut's tomb stood Orion, the constellation that the ancient Egyptians knew as the soul of Osiris, the god of afterlife. Like the god was watching, the god of afterlife is watching and protecting the King Tut's tomb. So, this is how this chapter ends. Those who would like to know more about this particular Pharaoh king and the latest details can check on the internet. You will get each and every detail, what are the things happened till now. Hope you understood the lesson. See you with another lesson. Till then, take care. Bye.